wondering why.
Hello, Earthlings! Welcome to another video made just for you. If you are new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button down below so you get notified whenever I post. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. I really would appreciate that. So with the current situation of the country and the NSAS protest and all of us saying we do not want SARS anymore, just leave us be. We are being killed by people that are meant to protect us. A lot of people are very scared. I myself, for one, I literally feel like there's a gun pointed behind my head waiting to shoot me whenever I'm out these days. And I believe a lot of us actually connect to that fear. And funny enough is that I haven't even been harassed by SARS before, and I'm wondering, okay, if I'm this scared of being out because of the current heat of the situation in the country, then how exactly will people who have been harassed by the SARS actually live their lives right now? And my heart really goes out to all of you, and I really am sorry. Today I would like to introduce someone very special and pretty interesting. He is called the Strawman.
I was just wondering why.
So who exactly is a strawman? A few years back, a strawman would have been a straw woven in the shape of a man, but now I will be defining strawman as any figure that has been placed to represent a man. Say for example, a scarecrow in the farm, or those punching bags that people actually get to punch when they're like working out and combating or learning how to combat, and anything at all that represents a man is going to be a strawman here. So there's a fallacy that is involved around the strawman, which is actually the main topic of discussion for me today. This fallacy involves person A bringing up an argument and then person B distorting that argument and combating that distorted version of the argument. Just like the same way soldiers are going to like place a strawman in front of themselves and learn to combat with rather than the real deal. That's exactly what person B does with this strawman. Say for example, I bring up an argument, a very solid argument that person B cannot fight against, and person B knows that this argument that Nswechu brought is really hot and I cannot win this argument. What person B does is that he distorts my argument either by making it by generalizing what I'm saying, or by just bringing a part of what I said out and then fighting that part. That part of my argument that he brought out, that whatever it is that he created that wasn't what I originally started with, is the strawman. Now the purpose of creating strawmen in conversations is often to be able to fight that conversation, to be able to fight that strawman and seem like you actually won the conversation. People create strawmen intentionally sometimes, other times it is not intentional. To help us better understand the strawman fallacy, I am going to be using an example that is very close to home, which is the NSAS protest. Here, person A, who is like the argument presenter for us, are the youths. Those are crying that we want the government to end SARS. We are tired of being killed, we are tired of being brutalized, we are tired of losing our loved ones, and we are tired of being extorted by the SARS, and we are saying end SARS. That is the argument of the youth. That is what the youths are saying. Now, one of the strawmen that were created was the end bad governance. I mean, yes, Nigeria does need the end bad governance, and in the long run, the end SARS protest, of course, would eventually cover the end bad governance, because bad governance is what gave them that much power over the masses, over the youth, over us, and made them to do all of this. But that is not the main, that is not the gist of what we are saying. What we are saying is that we want SARS to end. Now, the problem with this end bad governance is that it has created a strawman in front of our argument. So when the distorter now looks at what we are saying, they are now, of course, addressing the end bad governance, which is not what we are asking for, and they probably won't even address it ever. But for us in this situation now, this strawman has divided us, and it has made people say, okay, end bad governance, whereas it would have been much better if everybody was standing at the side of end SARS, and then when SARS is ended, we can like move on to the end bad governance. It has divided the protest. It has made people, okay, some people are tilting towards, okay, yeah, end bad governance and all, and some people are saying end SARS. A lot of other strawmen have come up, like the strawman of asking that the minorities the minorities' rights matter, which is true. Of course, the rights of everybody matters, but the main argument here was NSAS. And now a lot of other strawmen have come up, and people that have been standing for one cause are now dividing, each of them going to fight the different strawmen. So just like if it's actually a battle now, these soldiers that would have been standing and trying to fight off one particular cause now have like divided themselves into a lot of groups and are now like raising the placards for this one. And that is not something that we would want if we are actually fighting for something that we really need as a people. If you actually find yourself in a situation where you encounter someone that is making a strawman of your argument and you're wondering, okay, how am I supposed to handle this? What am I supposed to do? I'm going to be listing a few things that you could try. You could try either one of them, or you could try all of them if each one you try doesn't work. The first I'm going to recommend is to ignore the strawman. So someone has obviously made a strawman of your argument and you're trying to still get on track. You just ignore the strawman and act like it's not there and still keep addressing the argument. You use clear, concise words and explain what exactly your argument is, and you just ignore whatever it is that the other person has said. The only problem with this is the fact that if you have an audience, if you have people that are watching you, then they're most likely tilt towards the stutter's point of view rather than your point of view, because you're not making any claim to say whether the strawman is right or wrong. You're just going with it and just ignoring it being there. The second thing you could do is to point out the strawman. So someone makes a strawman of your argument and you just tell the person, okay, that is not what I said. You clearly and concisely repeat what your argument is, and you point out what strawman of that other person's argument is, and then you continue with your conversation, your argument, whatever. That way your audience are able to see what exactly the person creating the strawman of your argument is trying to do, and you are able to keep in mind what exactly your argument was, because sometimes when people create strawmen of your argument, you can tend to forget what exactly your argument was in the first place and begin to address the strawman. So that will take me to the third thing you can do, which is to address the strawman. If the strawman of your argument that was created is, say, someone picking a particular part of your argument and like honing it in on it or generalizing your argument, you might want to address that strawman. That can actually work if you have all of the time in the world. That way you can pick up this strawman, you address just this strawman. When you're sure you're done addressing it, you move on to the next strawman. That way the person creating the strawman, the strawman or strawman as the case may be, run out of strawmen to create and will just like probably give up. But if you do not have all the time in the world, you don't want to try and address the strawman, you don't want to ignore the strawman, you simply just want to point out the strawman and move on. Then if you actually find yourself being the one that is creating a strawman of someone's argument, I mean, we can find ourselves in that situation without intending to realize that we are distorting what someone says, just because we are trying so hard to be the one that comes off as the smarter person or the person that's won an argument. One thing you could do to help yourself get back on track is to ask person A to explain his argument to you again, so you get a concise view of what it is, and then the both of you can have a very peaceful and productive argument. Do remember that people don't always intentionally try to make strawmen of your arguments, so you should keep that in mind when you're addressing the strawmen that have been created of your argument. So that's it for the strawman. If you are still confused as to what exactly the strawman is and how exactly you have to handle the situations when you find yourself being person A or being person B, I'll be leaving some links in the description box down below. Don't forget to check it out so you can better understand the strawman. Thank you so much for watching through this video. Do not forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Peace. Stay safe, please.
Wondering why?